I missed you so much. When we lived in Big Spring, Texas for those 4 years, I missed you so much because Mom sent you to Boy Scout camp. And I was like so sad that you were, even though you hated me, I was so sad you were gone in like, must have been first grade.
Yeah.
And I couldn't wait to get the letter from you. We were getting a letter.
Oh God, this letter. Yeah.
Can I talk about it?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
So me and Mom I was really excited because we were finally going to hear from Jace because he was like up in the mountains. Yeah. In the middle of nowhere. Where the hell were you?
I was up by so I went on this big Boy Scout trip.
Did you get molested?
Honestly, maybe. I went.
Where were you?
Dude, I don't know. Everything looked like Breaking Bad. It was all yellow. I slept in a shipping container. And I met this guy called the Toy Box Killer. He played this audio recording of how he was going to fuck me, but I don't think I got molested. No, can I say real quick before you read, because the letter, it's like a real fucking pathetic kid thing. I went to this insane, like I was into the Boy Scouts just because I was like, fucking got this weird empty home life. I'm searching for something.
I'd rather whittle in the woods and sleep in a bunk bed. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I went to these guys talked me into, they're like, let's go to the Boy Scout camp. The crapper guy was one of them. And so we went to this fucking place out in, this is how terrible by the way, the Boy Scouts has like 80,000 molestation charges. Did you know that?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
It's like 4 times what the Catholic Church ever had.
That's why they don't want girls in the Boy Scouts and shit.
Yeah. Cause they gotta, fucking, no wives.
Yeah.
But they took us out to like this.
No hens.
Yeah. They took us out to like this Big Bend National Park, and it was like literally like the most retarded people I've ever met in my life, and they were in charge of me. And we slept in a tent. The place where we stayed was in a notorious tornado canyon. So because of the build of the land, tornadoes form there like once every 2 weeks.
Right.
We almost died in a tornado.
Yeah, they're just hoping half the class gets like sucked into the sky and killed. Yeah.
Looking back, I think my parents sent me there to die.
Yeah.
Like, hopefully I get sucked into heaven.
Yeah.
And God takes me back home.
No, before you go, you have to like look over your will. You're like 9. You have like a lawyer.
Yeah, my mom's making me sign a life insurance policy for a fucking 11-year-old.
What is the whole thing? You can't be gay in the Boy Scouts, or you can't be a girl in the Boy Scouts.
You can't be not gay in the Boy Scouts.
I never made sense, because if you're a Boy Scout, you're just gay.
You can't be a girl. I think they allow you to be gay now.
Oh,
it's like a don't ask, don't tell type of thing.
Yeah.
But so the first night, almost die in a tornado. And I remember because we had so many tornadoes growing up, I was looking at the clouds and I go, those look like tornado clouds, and lightning was striking around us. And I remember the guy who was in charge of
just
us,
like wrote it off.
who was like a 24-year-old guy. Not even that. He goes, oh, look at the fucking pussy. Thanks for going to die in a tornado. And then he picked up a big piece of metal rebar. He's like, and he was running around with it on top of his head. He goes, oh, I'm going to die from lightning. Oh.
That'd be so great if he was killed instantly.
I know. Fucking the second day, I remember they were teaching us how to like rescue somebody in the wilderness, and like they're like, here's how you brace a splint, and you put him on the board, and then you carry him off on the like that emergency board.
Yeah. And
I remember that same guy. He got it. There was a kid he didn't like who was like talking back to him a little bit, and he was the guy like the guy who got injured in the demonstration. He's like, all right, lay down on the board, and now you carry him off. And the 2 of the kids picked him up. And as they were carrying him off, the counselor went over and he just fucking he slammed the side of the board, and the kid fell onto his face.
He fucking checked him?
He fucking checked him while he was lying tied to a board, and then the board and him fell like face first into like some rocks and shit. And he started crying. And then there was a lot of weird shit. I remember there's fucking at one point that we all ate in a big mess hall. And then I forgot there was like one giant crapper, is it called it, latrine. Some like kids had gone in there and they'd shitting on the lids of the toilet.
So
you couldn't take a shit. You couldn't take a shit.
People were laying bricks for a well.
Yeah, literally. Like when you see those 3D houses where they're like laying an inch of fucking mortar at a time. Somebody had like fucking donut lined all the toilets, so you couldn't take a shit. So nobody took a shit the entire week, and we'd go to the like mess hall to eat, and people would just like be farting like 1,000 kids farting loudly.
Yeah.
And I remember there was like this little fucking 7-year-old kid, and he was like he went to go make a peanut butter sandwich, and a counselor walked over, and he's like, what are you doing? And he goes, my mom, she puts the jelly in a smiley face, so I'm putting in a jelly face like my mom. And then he goes, chow hall. All right, listen. Little Billy here Thanks for making peanut butter sandwiches like your mama makes them. We're not. We get the jelly. And he smushed it onto a fucking thing of bread. We get the peanut butter. We smushed it on there. And then we slam it together. And then he like dumped the fucking thing on the tray. And like the kid was just bawling and crying. Dude, kids were crying. Dude, it was like I was in
torture.
Yeah, it was Boys Town in the 50s.
Because these guys wanted to be war heroes. They wanted to be like they come back from a war with like 100 confirmed kills, and they failed boot camp immediately.
Dude, they failed boot camp, and then they failed like the ROTC. Like they couldn't even get into like they probably got kicked out of paintball leagues for being too gay.
Yeah. And they're like, all right, youth minister or Weeblo scout,
Right.
I guess.
And they're like, okay, here's 5,000 12-year-olds.
Right.
There's Tornado Alley.
Who do I have ultimate control over?
Yeah.
Children.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, God.
So anyway, sorry. Well, but the letter was still kind of pathetic that I sent.
Yeah, so we open up the mailbox and it's like we open it. And it's like Paradise Lost. It's like 1,000 pages.
Yeah.
It's like dearest mother. Surely I will take my own life very soon if I haven't already by the time you've read this. If you don't come pick me up.
Yeah, I think I was literally like, if you don't pick me up, I'm gonna kill myself.